Whether you've already got fat stacks or someone just showed you this video to introduce you to prepping, everybody has to start somewhere. Prepping is something that means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, but we all share some universal basic needs that should be the starting point for everyone's preparations. In today's video, we're going to talk about these needs and how to cover them. It's easy and incorrect to summarize prepping as what someone does when they think that something awful will happen in the future, like an eruption of the Yellowstone caldera or another Great Depression. While these common misconceptions are only partially accurate, I believe that they cause a lot of rational people to not prepare for emergencies that are far more likely to occur in their lifetime. There are some very basic preparations that I call square one preps that we can do to ensure the basic needs that we all share. Those basic needs are the need for air, shelter, water, and food, in that order of importance, because a lack of any of these things can cause death in as little as 3 minutes, 3 hours, 3 days, and 3 weeks, respectively. Now, square one preps are very basic, easy things that basically anyone can do to ensure for their 4 essential needs. Air and shelter may seem like a given. After all, we're generally surrounded by clean, breathable air, and in the West at least, even the homeless have access to either shelter or the means to improvise shelter. But there are situations that can threaten these necessities, so I want to share with you some square one preps that can help you ensure these needs. Fire is one of the basic hazards to shelter, so aside from the obvious of keeping fire extinguishers on hand, it can be very smart to keep water and towels in each room to help you escape in case of a fire. Another basic home prep is home security. You can make your home less appealing to burglars through the use of signage or denial of access points, like by planting thorny plants, the use of obstructing inside furniture, or lawn ornamentation. Like I said, we generally expect to have good quality air, but aside from industrial accidents, which can happen anywhere in the world, many regions also experience occasional poor air quality as a result of events like haboobs, which is a fun word for giant dust storms, or wildfire smoke, or the less common volcanic eruptions like Mount St. Helens, which blanketed multiple states in a very fine ash that sent asthma sufferers literally running for their lives. In any of these situations, personal protective equipment like gas masks and mask filters can provide you with a measure of protection, as well as the very cheap tape and plastic drop cloth and home air filters that can provide you with a clean space. Air and shelter may be our most basic and immediate needs, but our preparations for our water supply are probably the most important. Most of us can't appreciate our need for water until our access to it has been cut off, but I want to help you avoid this with some of my square one water preps. I divide water preparations into 3 categories: potable water, non-potable water, and water harvest preparations. Potable water preparations are those which are ready for drinking in human use at any given point. These are most convenient in the future because they don't require processing at the time of use. Non-potable water does require processing at the time of use, but it's more convenient now because larger amounts can be stored in a wider variety of containers more easily. Water harvest preparations are the most important because no matter how much water we store now, we will still need to collect and purify more water in the future. So to summarize, we want a variety of water preparations. We want the ability to collect and purify water in the future. We want some clean drinking water ready and at hand. And we also want to store as much water in non-food safe containers as possible, knowing that we'll need to boil it or otherwise purify it in the future, but having it on hand all the same. The food distribution network is an amazing thing. It transports a wide variety of foods from points all across the globe, and it does it so conveniently that many of us in the West no longer keep even a week's worth of meals on hand at any given point. This is usually okay because traffic snarls, blizzards, and riots rarely last for even a week. But this is not always true here, and it's not a guarantee anywhere in the world. Between this and power outages, you can see why my step 1 food prep suggestions include at least 21 meals for everyone in the household. I suggest that these meals consist of food which everyone enjoys, which is healthy, and which does not require energy from the outside world to either store or prepare at the time of use. I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope you'll stay tuned for future Let's Talk About Prepping videos. Thank you, everyone.